And welcome to the GameFace SFNL Division 2 to 10 Netball show. How are you, Hugh?
I'm quite well, thank you, Mac. How are you?
That's good. I'm good, thank you. And remember, each week we'll be recapping all the results and looking at all news from Division 2 to 10. And we'll even be looking at the fixture for the coming round this show. But as always, a massive thank you to our sponsors, Bendigo Bank, Caulfield Park, 1111 Fitness and Swivs Locker. Some interesting milestones.
Yes, a couple of interesting ones. We have from Maudie Alec in the round coming. Alice Wright plays her 50th game for Maudie Alec, so well done, Alice, one of the young leaders at the club there.
Yep.
In the game just past, though,
we had a really big milestone.
We had a big milestone. We had Yvonne McMillan from Heatherton, who is well known to just about all watchers of this show and most people within the Southern Football and Netball League. Yvonne's done just about everything at that club, and she celebrated her 100 games last week. Well done, Yvonne. We all love you, and we congratulate you on your feat.
Yeah, phenomenal work there. So looking at the Division 2 to 10, some really tight games that have impacted the ladder is Cheltenham 37, defeated by Murrumbina 48. And St Kilda City 29, defeated Keysborough 21.
Yeah, also look at Dingley's providing one of the upsets of the season by beating top place Heatherton 56 to 38 and really bringing Heatherton back to the pack.
And that's reflected in the ladder. So we have Heatherton on 28 points, Caulfield 26, Oakleigh District and Murrumbina both on 24, and St Kilda City still possibly in it on 17. And looking at this week's games, some really tight ones. So we have Caulfield v Oakleigh District, so potentially a bit of an upset could occur there in the ladder. We also have Heatherton v St Kilda City. St Kilda City have been in fine form, Hugh.
They have. They've been playing good netball, and it'll be interesting to see how Heatherton cope with that shock loss from last week. They could come out snarling, or it could be a portent of things to come for Heatherton. Time will tell.
Yes, some interesting games to watch there, and I think the Division 2 is really capped at the top 5 at the moment. If St Kilda City keep going on the run they've got.
Dingley will argue, but I think they might be a bit too far back.
Yeah, I think so. Now looking at Division 3. So what were our key results here, Hugh?
Key results in Division 3, well, the top 5 all won.
Oh, interesting.
Look, there weren't any real shocks, and mostly by rather large margins. Doveton and Caulfield was the interesting one. Caulfield pushed Doveton all the way, but they were a bit too strong. Apart from that, it was all pretty clear cut.
Yeah, all top 5 having a win. So looking at the ladder there, really cemented the top 4. We've got Murrumbina and Doveton Eagles both on 30, and St Kilda City all on 32. South Yarra on 30, and Cheltenham trying to play a bit of catch up on 18, but I think they might have left their run a little bit too late.
If you look at the percentages in this division, the 3 on 32, Murrumbina, Doveton and St Kilda, if they finish level on points, they will finish in that order because the percentage gaps are quite clear. So be interesting to see whether St Kilda and Doveton make a charge on Murrumbina and knock them off top spot.
Yeah, and I guess looking at the fixture for this week, we have Murrumbina v Cheltenham, which I think we can really highlight as the round of the match. And
round of the match?
Round of the match.
Match of the round, maybe?
But Murrumbina and v Cheltenham, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and potentially impacting the ladder a bit.
Well, the really interesting one is Doveton Eagles v St Kilda City, who are 2 of the sides on 32 points.
Yeah, so potentially having a bit of a divide there. So that's it'll be interesting to see if that top 4 changes in Division 3. Looking at Division 4, what were some key results here?
Well, CPL, who are having a great season, were pushed all the way by Heatherton in winning by 50 to 38. East Brighton are right at their heels though. They beat Bentley 54-32 and really have keeping the pressure on CPL. Interesting one in this particular division is the fact that of the top two sides, Felicity Dawkins from East Brighton has scored a massive 422 goals so far, and Kimberly Harrison from CPL has scored 318. So some really sharp shooters in this division.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see that they were all very big margins, the wins there, with our smallest one being 10 goals. So reflected in the ladder, we have CPL on 34 points, East Brighton 30, Springvale District 24, Clayton and St Kilda City on 20. So I think potentially that top five has really been cemented there. And looking at the games for next week, or this week I should say, interesting to see CPL v St Kilda City. I think that will really potentially show CPL's strength and how well they are going. But yeah, I guess the thing to highlight in this division is, will all the games be close, or will they have big margins like they did last week?
St Kilda City and Mordialloc are really knocking at the door of the top four.
Yeah.
Now they play the top two sides this week, CPL and East Brighton respectively. If one of those sides or both those sides can spring an upset and knock over one of the top two, it will really set them up for a big charge at the finals. I don't see it happening personally, but
who knows?
Stranger things have happened, haven't
Yeah. And now looking at Division 5, so our key results there.
In Division 5, the top side, Caulfield, have been brought back to the pack slightly.
Yeah.
They were in front for most of the day, but were overrun in the last quarter by South Yarra.
And that was a Thursday night game actually at
indeed,
South
yes.
Yarra, so I think that potentially had a bit of an impact there, so well done.
So 49-46 to South Yarra in that one. Doveton Eagles are an interesting side in this league. They beat Lindale by 44-25. And look as though they're getting stronger as the season goes on. And when you look at the table, you'll see that they are probably the leading challenger to Caulfield at the moment.
Yeah, so we have Caulfield on 30 points, Doveton Eagles, Aspendale Arrows and Hampton all on 26, and Lyndhurst playing a bit of catch up on 24. And looking at this week's games, it's interesting to see Doveton Eagles v St Kilda City. I wonder whether Doveton Eagles will get the win there and potentially play a bit of catch up to Caulfield and maybe even overtake them.
I'll certainly tip Doveton. Caulfield have got Mordialloc, which is a game that they should win.
Yeah.
But Aspendale Arrows v Hampton, third and fourth. Now, that really sets the winner up for a challenge to the top two.
Yeah, so some really close games there to keep an eye on. Division 6, what are some key results happening there?
Well, Division 6 saw Parkdale Vultures enter the top four this week at the expense of Springvale Districts. The Vultures beat Dingley 43-26, while Springvale went down to Murrumbina.
Yeah.
And the other interesting one was Heatherton's 43-30 win over St Kilda City, which keeps Heatherton at the top of the ladder, just clear of Caulfield.
Yeah, so a really close ladder here. So we have Heatherton on 26, Caulfield on 24, Murrumbina on 22, Parkdale Vultures on 20, and Springvale Districts and Doveton Eagles on 18. So I think we can sort of cap it there at the top six. Maybe St Kilda City potentially, but they'll have to have all wins from here on out. But interesting to see St Kilda City have a bye this week.
That
so
does work a bit against them.
Yeah, so might be impacting their results there and potentially stopping them from having that run into finals. But looking at the rest of it, we have Caulfield v Parkdale Vultures, so that'll be an interesting game.
Yes, I think so. That's definitely the game of the round.
Yeah.
Look, anyone who's watched this show knows that I've been on the Vultures all season. I think they're getting stronger again as the season goes on. I think they might just be able to knock Caulfield over this week, and that'll make the top 4 even more congested.
Yeah, and we also have Heatherton v Dingley, so always a tight competition when those two sides meet.
Yeah, they don't like losing to each other.
No. So flying through now to Division 7. Some key results?
South Yarra 40-21 over St Kilda City. The top 2 sides have cleared out here, and South Yarra's one of them. 57-45 Heatherton beat Springvale Districts in, and that is the game that had the most impact on the bottom part of the top 4. So, you know, they were probably the key games of the weekend.
Yeah, and also looking potentially like CPL v Hampton. Very interesting result, 0-60.
CPL couldn't field a side against Hampton.
Yeah, so big shame there. But looking at the ladder here, again, another really tight result in their bottom 3-4 position. We have Hampton on 38, South Yarra 36. So I think we can say our top 2 are locked in.
Yeah,
potentially swapped around, but locked in. We have Heatherton and Skye on 20, St Kilda City 19, and Springvale District 16. So look, those bottom 2, 3, 4 positions are really up for grabs.
I also can tell you that Maudie Alec fancy their chances of making up to 6 points to get to the top 4. They are certainly up against it, but they fancy their chances of making a late charge.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the percentage there, though, seeing it's very low.
It certainly won't help them. They're playing sides around them, so they can knock off a lot of their competition.
Yeah, let's see how that one goes. So obviously we've got Maudie Alec v Springvale District, so that will be really interesting to see how they go with that and trying to build their run home. We also have Hampton v St Kilda City, so it will be interesting to see if Hampton potentially come up with a really strong side or whether St Kilda City can knock them off. But that will really impact the ladder, that result.
Yeah, it certainly will. Interesting one also that I didn't mention before, Cheltenham were on the bottom before last week, but they came up against a rather understrength Keysborough side and got them just at the right week.
Yeah.
They actually won that game by 74-16.
Oh, massive win.
Which is a huge win. And they have Hallam this week, who are now on the bottom of the table. So at the bottom end, it's also very competitive in this particular grade.
Yeah, really close division. So now looking at Division 8, some really close games here.
Yeah, St Paul's. God bless them.
Yeah, one goal win.
Made it 2 wins out of 3 for their club on the day after a really difficult season for that club. So really congratulations to St Paul's. They beat Frankston Dolphins by just the 1 goal, 26-25. Game that was close all day, and St Paul's were in front just at the right time. Dingley leading this competition, held Caulfield just where they wanted them all day. Caulfield were close enough all day that they felt that they could possibly make a charge, but Dingley too good, 32-27 up.
Yeah, and unfortunately Caulfield have had some sad news in our Division 8 side with Al Thorne doing an ACL. So Al, we wish you all the best there, but hopefully it doesn't impact Caulfield's results too much.
Yeah, well, all the best to you. As we well know,
yes.
Mark ACLs are nasty little injuries.
They are. But looking at the ladder, we have Dingley 32 points, South Yarra 30, Cheltenham 24, and Dandenong and Doveton Eagles both on 20. So I think we can cap it at the top 5 there.
I think so.
But yeah, really interesting to see that. And looking at this week's game, we have a lot of teams versing other ends of the ladder. Mm-hmm. Not some really close games, I think, that will impact the ladder too much. But I think Dingley, Lindale will be interesting. I know Lindale have had some good passages of play, and it'll be interesting to see how they come against Dingley.
Frankston Dolphins and Cheltenham.
Yeah, really close
could
as
be
well.
An interesting one. This is a real danger game for Cheltenham. If they drop this one, they are right back in the mix in terms of missing finals. Frankston could get themselves back into contention with a win, so that could be the game of the day.
Yeah. Looking at Division 9 results here, what were our two key games?
Murrumbina 37 beating Hampton Park 34. That was a really good game of netball. And Murrumbina really needed that win to shore up their place in the top four, as we'll see after. The other interesting one was Parkdale Vultures 37 beating Dingley 32. And again, that probably secures finals in the first season in the competition for Vultures.
Yeah, and I think our top four here are really locked in. So we have Hampton 34, Hampton Park 30, Parkdale Vultures 28, and Murrumbina 24. I think we can cap it at that top four.
Yeah, and it shows just how important that win for Murrumbina was, because that gives them a lot of breathing space.
Yeah, and I think our game to highlight this week will be Oakley District v Murrumbina. Oakley District, I think, just out the top of the four. So will be a really close game and interesting one. And our other one would be Hampton Park v Dingley. So keep an eye on those games.
Yeah, if Murrumbina beat Oakley District, it really is all over. The top four is set.
Yeah.
So,
that's sort of our last little chance to mix up the four, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And Division 10.
Okay, Hampton 41 beat Hampton Park 32. That was a really tight game with consequences for the rest of the season attached to it. Oakley Districts 42 beat Heatherton 22. Again, similar story. Heatherton really vying for the four, but Oakley District's on top, as we'll see.
Yeah, and I think ladder-wise for Division 10, it sort of capped at our top five. So we have Oakley District 32, Clayton 28, as well as Hampton, Dubton Eagles 20, and Heatherton playing a little bit of chase on 18. So really interesting to watch Heatherton Hampton Park for this week. Will impact the ladder, that result.
Yeah, Hampton Park are right back in it if they win this one.
Yeah, and Heatherton sort of need that win to stay in the four. So I think that would be our key game for Division 10. But looking at last week's poll question, we looked at whether Sunday grand finals should continue or whether we should stay to Saturday. 98 people said Saturday, with only 5 people saying Sunday. And interesting to look at some of the comments there, Hugh, with people like Kerry mentioning family day Sunday, so we shouldn't have netball. Ebony also being funny, mentioning that if we play Sunday, there might be a call to work for the Monday being a bit sick.
Our good mate Lisa Fox says, I work on Saturdays and I don't work on Sundays, so she wants to keep it as it is.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Foxy, you're in the minority there, kid.
And that leads us to this week's question. Emma Barry really brought up something interesting and said that we should have top 5 for finals. And looking at it, we're one of the only footy netball competitions that don't have top 5 for finals. So our question is, should the final series be extended to the top 5 or should it remain as top 4? Now, I think a highlight from this week's poll was all the comments that were going on. So make sure you're giving a poll, but make sure you're looking in the comments and leaving us what your thoughts are. We really want to make a change, and we want to make a change that has your voice attached to it. So make sure you're getting involved there.
We do value your opinions, and as a body at GameFace, we rather like showing the league what you think. So let us know what you think, and we can go from there.
Yeah, and that brings us to this week. Some really exciting news around the courts and around the league. It's Pride Round. So it's the 3rd annual SFNL Pride Round, and we really want to celebrate diversity and inclusion. It's something that we really want to foster here at SFNL, and GameFace really want to support it. So make sure that you're getting involved there. Some interesting news for Bentley. They're hosting the Pride Cup for the footy, and the players will be wearing rainbow bibs in divisions 4 and 8, 8 or 7. So 8, I'm told. They'll be wearing rainbow bibs. So really good work there by Bentley, but all the other clubs, by all means, make sure you're jumping on board, wearing some colour, whether it's a ribbon, some shoelaces, whatever it might be, but supporting that cause.
And well done to Bentley for really taking up the mantle of promoting it. Really good work by that club.
Yeah, 100%. But really, that brings us to a wrap for this week. Make sure you're commenting, getting involved in the poll. We want to have the people's voice, I guess, and really take that back to the league to make a difference. So as always, a massive thank you to our sponsors, Bendigo Bank Caulfield Park, 1111 Fitness and Swiv's Locker. And Hugh,
as always,
remember, get your game face on.
And clear.
How long did it take?